And we're back again.
God, Paul's so bad at this.
To be fair, I did do the countdown.
But you did do this.
I pointed.
And then he sat
I
there.
thought it was going to be like a 1, 2.
So did I, but this was the best was he goes like this. I'm like, I look at
like,
Paul.
go.
Nothing. He goes, again. I'm like, Paul?
All right, Grappling Dad's back again. Paul and the Kip here.
We'll get this sooner or later.
Well, next week. We'll have
we
it
got
down.
this.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the appropriate use of strength in jiu-jitsu. So it's a big thing. Like, we've all heard, hey, bro, you're using way too much strength, which is code for, hey, you're kicking my butt and I don't like it, so you can tone it down a little bit.
or the, wow, you're strong. And they're like, yeah, no, it's not a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
That is a backhanded insult.
If you're told you're strong in jiu-jitsu, it is a assault, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Good for
it's
you
like you're
for
trying
being
to come
strong,
on to somebody.
but it means you're really crappy
Man.
at jiu-jitsu.
You are strong for jiu-jitsu. And they're like, oh, fuck you.
But on the flip side, like, nobody says, wow, you're really flexible, or you're really fast, or you're so compact and small that you find all those little spots where...
I think they do. I've said that almost exact same thing to little Robert.
But not in a negative way.
I need to stop calling him little Robert.
Why? He's little.
It's just
and his name is
mean.
Robert.
He's awesome,
We have a big Robert.
No, that's Bob.
Whatever. So, my point is...
People are like, why do we
bring it
care
around.
about
Nobody
this?
cares about that.
No.
The point is, if you're flexible, fast, compact, you know what I mean?
You really don't hear it. You don't.
If you do, it's not negative.
No, not at all. I have zero. Yeah, but you're little. Way to be terrible.
But we watched, if you guys want to watch the video, we watched a video of half Thor Jorgen, the Mountain from Game of Thrones, beat the crap out of a BJJ black belt
with side control,
laying on him.
Yeah, you can't blame the guy though.
Yeah. So what do you say? You just use strength. Well, you don't know shit.
Yeah. Well,
it's a thing.
Technique will beat that strength.
Some people have this. Like, don't be sad if you don't.
Dude, it's bad. I have no strength. Everyone knows this.
There's levels of the game.
I have none.
Like, I have met stronger and weaker people than you.
I don't think I'm very strong though.
Your legs are strong, but your arms are weaker than anybody else.
They've lost a lot of...
Yeah.
They lost a lot. There's not a whole lot I can do about that.
Yep.
Mine's all my upper body stuff now ever since my surgery. It's become very leverage based.
As it should be.
I have to, though.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it makes me great if I knew how to do it better.
So being broken will help you with better jiu-jitsu because you have to use technique and work around it. You can't just force your way through stuff.
Well, yeah, it's very true because I can't just use my legs now to stop people because I could take risk and things like that with my legs because they're strong because I always had my arms that were okay. You know, they were
at least
strong.
normal.
Yeah,
right?
they were normal strength.
Yeah, normal.
But now
dad bod strength.
Yeah, dad bod strength, exactly.
That's fine.
And
good enough.
But now I can't because like if I lose my open guard, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to frame well. My frames are good, but it would be nice to be able to post on somebody and just move, and it just doesn't work anymore. I'm a wuss.
Well, your collarbone's busted, so
I broke my collarbone and my neck.
That'll do it.
It kind of fucked some shit up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, you remember my right arm before my surgery?
Yeah, you couldn't pick up your kids.
It wouldn't work. It was so weird.
Yeah, I watched you try to pick up Ellie. You're at the time 3-year-old.
Yes.
And you're like, I can't.
It's not. No, she's heavy.
Yeah.
She's got big, heavy bones.
So, but yeah, there's good and bad reasons to use strength when you're doing jiu-jitsu. And Paul Elliott from Simple BJJ kind of answers the question in his version of it, and I thought it was insightful on the Flick Chat. So.
I saw how long it was. I just didn't read it.
It's in depth.
It's very in depth.
So.
Everything he does in depth. Well, you remember when we got Flick Chat, he goes, I'm not going to use it. I can't use a keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to use it. Within 2 days, he's like, I figured it out. I got a fucking keyboard. It's like, great. And it has. It worked out well for us. Content.
Yeah. Hey, get through some sponsors and we'll get through this podcast.
We'll do that. We have Top Mount Apparel, topmountapparel.com. Check it out. You'll see the beautiful Jiu-Jitsu. It's not karate shirt from the show here. Also has a Grappling Dad shirt on there. A hat that Austin is wearing. Going to toss to me. I have one too. I just didn't wear it.
Sorry,
Paul thought it was coming to him. Clearly, it was not. But yeah, we love it. It's a great bill. Flat bill. I love wearing mine. I know Austin wears his a lot. If his girlfriend doesn't steal it. Wow, she had all your gear on yesterday.
She hates my hat though. She hates the flat bill hat.
Oh.
She thinks I'm a douchebag when I wear it.
Yeah, see, that's what I got. That's what I think, too, about me. I'm like, wow, I look like a douche in these things. And my family's like, no, you look good. I'm like, no, I don't.
Your wife said I look good, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
my wife
so
likes-
everyone's gonna
likes-
think I look good. No, girlfriend doesn't.
My wife likes them. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, check it out. It's a flat brim hat. If you don't like it, well, we're screwed. And but no, they have great stuff, great gear on there. They sponsor some really cool athletes on there and a lot of great causes. So check it out, topmontapparel.com. GD10 at checkout will save yourself a few dollars. And we have Gameness skis. Air Pro gi, that's one we wear. We love them a lot. They are very comfortable, almost like wearing pajamas. So check it out. Gameness.com. They have other stuff you should probably check. It's jiu-jitsu related. Whole website of stuff. So check it out. Gameness.com. GD10 at checkout will supposedly save you some money there too. And a little bitter. And the trip's almost done. It's fine. Then we have Tap Tape. Actually, he reached out to us today. Did you get that text?
I did not.
Oh.
What did he say? Because I've had some
It was a
people
video.
reach out and say, hey, they're out of stock again.
Oh, are they out of stock?
Yeah, I'll check right now. But
Okay, we'll have to check. But
Because we're selling it all.
check it out on
It
Amazon.
must be
Yeah,
us.
that's it. We're making it so bad for them. So, but we got Tap Tape. Check it out on Amazon if it's available. If not, I'm sorry, but it's great stuff, and he keeps selling it all. So, but great guy, great company, and it's American company too. You got anything for me?
I can't even find it on Amazon right now.
Death Grip 2.
Yeah, somebody sent us a link and said, it's always out. I'm sorry.
Well, anyways.
Keep looking.
Yeah, Black Line Jiu-Jitsu is where we train. It's not a sponsor, but we love it there. Chad Pomeroy is the coach. You may have seen his ass on TV coaching one of our fellow teammates, Jamal Hill. So come on down whenever we open back up. We'd love to see you. Love to roll with you. You might even get to meet a UFC fighter. A legit one, too.
You can watch me kick his butt.
No.
Go on. No. Just glaze over that and keep going with the sponsors, yeah.
I can't wait to tell him.
I mean, he's only
Paul's
only
going
a
to
blue
beat you
belt.
up.
He's only a blue belt. Clearly, I outrank him, and I can beat him.
Yeah.
Please don't make a clip of this and put it
please
anywhere.
God, make
Let's not
that
do
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Because I at least don't choose elite athletes that punch for a living. I don't talk any shit about Jamal. None. Also really like him. He's a good guy.
What I want to do is I want to give him tips and tricks on what he should have done better during his last fight. Because I hear he likes that.
He really enjoys that. He also really enjoys the day of the fight, getting messages on shit that you read on Google and double checking on it. Like, hey, this guy said something. Yeah, Jamal doesn't give a shit. Please leave him alone the day before his fight.
He's a little busy.
Little busy. Man. But he represents our team well. Love that guy. Corley Gracie, you guys check out his podcast, Just Jiu-Jitsu. It's great informational stuff with Andrew. Been doing it for a couple of years, year and a half now. Probably. Year?
A little over a year, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing great. Go listen. It's informative.
Hey, To the Top podcast.
To the Top podcast, brought to you by one of our greatest sponsors, Top Mount Apparel.
Yep.
Al has really found his voice, and he's doing a great job over there. So,
Yeah.
not surprising.
Go
He
listen.
seems to tackle freaking everything he does.
Overachiever. Way to go.
I'm going to start a apparel company. Oh, wow, look at me go. I'm doing good.
Yeah, look, I'm successful at this. Let's do a podcast next.
Yeah,
Look at that. I'm successful at this as well. Good for
Ass.
him. We're not bitter.
No,
We're jealous.
not at
It's
all.
fine. All right. So on the Flick Chat app, we had a question from Bill. If anybody wants to chime in on this, please do, because I'm curious how you...
Is that Bill Garrett?
Bill Garrett, yeah.
St. Lawrence Spirits. Check it out.
There you go. Yeah, unofficial
That's where he's
sponsor,
from. He's awesome.
It might be in your tumblers. They don't know.
yeah. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tumbler.
It's maybe bourbon.
And it's maybe yummy.
All right, I'm curious how you gauge this. My question is regarding the use of strength. I know Paul is a big advocate of using physical attributes primarily in service of good technique, but is willing to accept using strength to a degree against more skilled opponents to compensate for the discrepancy in jiu-jitsu ability. I think we can also all agree that there are things that feel like strength but are not, such as pressure,
very
frames,
true.
and, to a degree, our grips. That's a good point.
I have so I was actually thinking about this when you told me about the article we were going to, or Paulisms. That's what we'll call
Paulisms.
it. Paulisms that we were going to do today. And I thought of one person I was rolling with consistently and kept telling me, "You're using strength to get me to do that." I'm like, "No, Matt," because I'm trying to describe. They would get inside control, and I would end up just rolling them over. Every time. You're using strength. I'm like, no, I'm not.
So if somebody doesn't have the correct pressure on you and they're doing something wrong, and you can just roll them over.
Yeah, they go across your center line. It's like, I just pin your arm and you roll over yourself.
But a lot of things feel like strength
feels like
when you're...
It feels like strength to them.
Well, when you're... you can be tiny, like Robert, small fella. If he does...
Jeez, Pete,
he does knee on belly correctly, he's going to feel significantly heavier when he does it correctly.
Yeah.
Because of how he's using his strength, or his strength and
technique.
Technique.
No, for sure.
So, you can make yourself feel far stronger than you are by using proper technique.
But it's when you're new to the game, it definitely feels like people are using muscle on you, and they are clearly not, because you're winded at the end of the run and they're not.
Well, so a lot of times people that are new to the sport come in and they get ruined by people, and they go, wow. They don't know any better, so they're like, these guys are super fast, they're super strong, and they have cardio for days. Yeah. So ignorantly, they go to the gym and they're like, I got to get cardio, I got to get strength. They're doing deadlifts, I got to grip strength is a big thing, and that's what they think jiu-jitsu is. That's what they think people are using,
because that's how it feels to them.
Right.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
So when upper belts are rolling with newer people, and they just look so nonchalant, and they're not winded, they haven't even broken a sweat, and you're like, oh man, it's definitely my physical fitness that's lacking. Like, no, that's not it at all. And you'll see a lot of people come into jiu-jitsu, and whether they want to use it for physical fitness or not, they'll come in and they're like, oh, this is what it is. And they're trying so hard, even if they're not going to the gym to compensate, you know what I mean? They're just doing jiu-jitsu, and that, they're all in on that. They're burning so much energy.
Oh, yeah.
That they lose weight. So you'll see white belt, white to blue to maybe purple. They lose weight. They're getting shape. They got six packs. They're like, rocking it. And then they start getting technique, and they realize what it is, and then they just start gaining it all back. They're just kind of chilling.
Because I can do it without all those things.
And once you're a purple belt, like, you don't have to do warm-ups anymore, so that helps.
Yeah, that doesn't, Lazy asses.
All right.
That includes me. I'm the laziest blue belt. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad that I can't get there on time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And I physically can't get there on time. I just can't. It doesn't break my heart, though.
Nor should it.
No. It won't.
Right. My question is, how to police yourself and keep yourself honest to make sure it's in service of good technique, but using strength, so you're not just a wet noodle. During class, you need realistic reactions with high degree of compliance. During open mat, you need your partner to be much less compliant. My rule of thumb is I am okay using my core strength as much as needed to maintain posture or position in offense or defense. On defense, I allow my strength to come into play based on my limbs' proximity to my core. If my elbow is right tight to my side, I can use my lat to help keep it in place. As my opponent uses technique to extract my arm, I will intentionally use less and less strength as the urgency increases and relies more on technique to escape.
Okay.
Offensively, I would use strength in static holds, and if I need to apply strength to a technique, my movement will slow in correlation to the amount of strength being applied. All right.
Fair enough.
That all being said, I do lose focus in the heat of the moment sometimes, but I'm generally pretty good about following this across the board. The only other caveat would be I'm simply matching the other person's strength application to protect myself. Is there any other ways you guys use to gauge your application of strength, or any additional areas you think I may need to bring into the equation to be more consistently honest about using strength? Or say, stop your nonsense.
Break your neck. It's number one. Heal up all fucked up, and you will stop using a lot of your strength because you just won't have it there. Is that not a good tip? I think it'll work.
It'll work.
I mean, it'll work.
It's an option.
The end result is right there.
Yeah, if you want the shortcut to not using strength, just,
break your neck.
You have neck surgery,
yeah. Or just mess up your nerves.
Yeah.
Same.
So there's a bit of a rule of thumb I try to gauge. So when you're gripping somebody, and you have the grip, and you can feel that grip all the way up your forearm, up your arm, and your shoulder, and your chest, and you're just holding on.
Yeah.
But you don't need to use any of that.
No.
Like if you just have the grip, you can follow them along.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can, and it's easier because you can react and move with their movement. If you are so locked up on any grip, trying to keep them from moving at all, I think that's very unnecessary.
Well, and it's useless for you
Exactly.
realistically.
It's doing more harm than good.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
gassing you out, and it's also leaving you open to things because you're not going to be able to react to anything they do
Right.
very well because you're just stiff as a freaking board.
It does pose problems as far as, like, if I'm rolling with a very big, strong white belt, Frank, and he just
blue belt.
and he just oh yeah, he's got a blue belt now.
He's still annoying.
He's a baby blue belt, so it doesn't
Still.
count. Yeah. So my point is, they will pose problems. So if they're holding me down as hard as they can, I'm like, all right, I have to deal with it. So it might take more moments in time to get what I want.
Yeah.
Or I just have to wait until that runs out. Like you have a gas tank, and if you're using your entire gas tank by trying to hold me in one static spot, you're going to deplete that eventually.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Right. So you're better off not using that strength, and just, if you don't have the technique to deal with whatever situation it is, learn what you did wrong.
Yeah.
So, So what happens is, we were talking about this before the show, is ego isn't the big problem. It's the competition mindset. So
I have to win.
So yeah, I was talking to somebody who goes, I don't care if I lose. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I expect you. So if I'm
And
rolling,
coming from him, I believe him.
Yeah,
He's
so-
a super nice dude.
yeah, so I'm rolling with a purple belt. Like I know that I'm going to win. I know I've rolled with you enough. You have the technique, and I don't know what I'm doing, and you're going to win. And he goes, I understand when you're saying, don't do this, roll like this, and mentally I'm like, I get it. I can logically go, I get that, but I get in these positions where I'm like, well, I don't
know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have any other answer other than hold and grab and just use
hold or extend away. Those are
Right.
the two that you just. It's natural. It's like, okay, you're too close to me. I need to get away. What do I do? I push.
Yep. And it's kind of ingrained in a lot of us where you grow up, you're in all the sports, football and baseball and basketball, and it's competition, it's winning. We like to win. You play chess, you do whatever, I like to win. You grow up in the military, we want to win. Everything's about winning. And it's not ego so much as just that competition mindset. You're in business, you want to win. Everything's a competition. So when you're rolling, it just kind of like clicks in. You're not. So when we say ego, usually people think asshole. It's like, it's almost like an equivalent. Like, he has a huge ego. You might as well say he's a huge asshole.
You might as well, yes.
And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the competition. So when he's saying, in the heat of the moment, I find myself ratcheting up the strength, like, well, I can stop you from doing what you want to do if I just use more lat. Like I just really cinch down on that. And then if you move more, I'll just cinch down more. And what that looks like is two people going like this, and they're just stuck.
Well, it's two rams locked in horns doing nothing.
So, conversely, like if you have somebody mounted and they're doing the static, they're just holding
holding their collars.
Well, if I had the strength to just go, that's adorable, and push your
hands
down,
up, or push their arms up into their throat, it happens.
Or some people can just like. Grab your head and just pull up, and their knees slide under your elbows. And if you had the strength to do that, I would argue that that's good technique. You're getting yourself in a position, and they can't stop you.
Well, and they're doing anti-jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because they're not using a technique to get out or forward their position or incorrect their position.
Exactly.
They're literally holding a shit position.
Exactly. So if you're using if you're using strength defensively to hold them, to keep them from doing something, you're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, not,
and you're not learning anything.
Yeah, exactly. You're just not getting anything out of that roll.
Right. Yeah.
Because and it happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Anti-jiu-jitsu is a really big thing, and it comes from ego. Yeah. And guess what? It doesn't matter if you're man, woman, child. You do it.
Right.
Like, it's just natural. It's a natural... I don't know, is it fight or flight? I don't know, but it's thing of...
So it can be ego, or asshole. It can be
Yep.
just super competitive. I can't help myself. It's just ingrained in me. It can be fight or flight. It can be
Yep.
fear. So it can be a lot of different reasons why you're doing
Yeah,
this.
but I'm just saying with ego, it's not the asshole ego. It's the I want to win.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make you an asshole because you
So
want to win,
yeah,
but
we're-
it does give you an
yeah.
ego because you think
Yeah.
you can win
Yeah.
by doing anti-jiu-jitsu
Right.
and just holding, but you can't.
So if I would rather have somebody tap out far more by going, okay, if I'm mounted and I just hold on like this and not move and use all my strength, well, you're not, okay, you're not tapping out, you're winning. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. But if we're just rolling and we're using this roll to learn about jiu-jitsu, I'd rather see you, okay, place your frame down here,
Yeah.
use the one escape that you've learned. Try it.
If
Even
it
you do
doesn't
wrong,
work, who cares?
Right. And
you're
it-
going to learn from that more than you're going
Right.
to learn holding onto your collar.
Right.
No!
So if a white belt tries the basic elbow knee push, right? You just
Yep.
basic level 1 or trap and roll, whatever they
Yep.
learn first. The upper belt knows what you're doing, and they're going to defeat that.
Mm-hmm.
So as a white belt, you feel defeated, like in a greater sense.
Yeah.
So then you just start throwing crap at the wall to see
Yeah.
what sticks.
Yep.
Well, sticks. Well, then you're teaching yourself bad habits, and you're not helping. You're not.
No.
I would rather have you go, okay, what did I do wrong there? What should I have done?
Yeah.
Well, you use it as a learning experience rather
Yeah.
than just trying to fight to the death.
Doesn't help.
It doesn't. It really
It
doesn't.
really doesn't help.
So-
we all go through that phase, though. It's
Yep.
hard to because
Yep.
you're like, well, I watch other people doing it, and it looks like what they're doing.
Hmm?
You're like, it looks like they're fighting for their lives. And once you get into that level, you're like, oh, no, they weren't. They're having fun.
Yeah.
But in your eyes, it's like, they're trying to murder. That's what they're going to do to me. I have to
Yeah.
do something to stop that.
Right. It as well. Ask Austin. Get on the mic, Austin.
What's up?
So, can you feel the difference between you and somebody your own level? Let's say late white belt, early blue belt, like you are. What does it feel like when upper belts are rolling with you compared to somebody that's very newer?
Well,
As far as strength goes,
as far as strength, so
Yeah.
I'll equate it to like Croyler and Dr. Howe. When those two would roll with me, it didn't feel like they were ever using strength, but I was controlled the entire time.
yeah,
Yeah.
And when they did knee on belly, it's like I'm going to cry because you're breaking my sternum.
right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel
But
good.
it didn't feel like they were like gripping me to death and just like physically strong.
Yeah.
They just were using such superior technique that I couldn't even do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, can you recall a time where somebody that's an upper level was letting you play on them, but you can't tap them out, but they're not using strength to stop you?
Well, like, so you, Ben, Kip, all of you have done that with me before. So it's you know what I'm doing as far as like the chess game. You're 3 moves ahead of me, and you don't have to use strength because you know what technique is coming. So you just know the counter before I can even get there.
Right.
You let me try it. You let me get to a point, and then you're like, okay, that's cute. Little white belt, little blue belt. Step aside.
Yeah.
Except for the ones, like, we've all had it now where you got me. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
you
let
go
me play a
I don't care
too
much.
much. You're too far down the road. You're
Yes.
like, all right, you got it.
The last time we rolled up just
Yeah.
a little bit too far, I'm like, and I'm getting swept.
Yep.
It's like, that was my fault.
And as
I
we-
didn't say that. I said it was good because
Yeah,
he did it. Yeah, I was like, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Got me.
And that's what should happen.
Yeah.
That I think that's where everybody wins. Like
Yeah.
you realized,
I-
all right, this part of my game might need a little help.
Or no, don't let that happen because I literally, I was like, oh, I know what he's doing. Okay, he's going to do this. He's going to do that. Oh, wait, I forgot part. It was on my
Yeah.
back. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Definitely need to remember all the steps. Yeah, work on that part of my game for sure.
Another good one is Morgan because
Yes.
I'm physically stronger than Morgan. It's
Yeah.
just fact.
Well, yeah, it is.
But her technique is so good. If she gets mount, you're done.
Oh my God, I hate when she got mount.
She's not using strength at all when she's a mount, but I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, she's
So-
stuck.
So, to his point, there's a huge difference between using just technique without strength and then going, well, if I just ramp up the strength, then I'm going to win and or not lose.
Yeah,
So, in my head, use it sparingly.
so for me, I've never been the strongest guy. I'm just not. I don't lift weights. I used to, but I don't.
Because you don't clang and bang, bro.
Fuck, I hate you. Hate you so much. Hate everyone.
Go on.
I'm leaving.
I quit.
Taking my tumbler and going home. But I just never have. I was never strong for my size either. I'm like, well, he looks fit. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not.
I would call Kip just like average. Like you know, the bell curve, you're right in the average.
I'm
so
right,
you have a few strengths over here and a few weaknesses over here as far as, like your legs are pretty strong from soccer, but your upper body's, you don't use it. You never have.
No.
You didn't play football. You were arm wrestling and stuff.
No, I didn't. I'm a white collar worker. You know what I mean? Like,
so we've had people that come in that are just athletes.
Yeah, they just are.
And they're on that side of the bell curve. So
and strength. Yeah. So for me, going into this, the only thing I did was tense. I didn't use muscle as much as I tensed up. And by tensing it's very similar. It feels the same to the person you're doing to as strength, because I didn't have any. But guess what? I was, because I'm just like tensing and holding one position like, no.
Yeah, it's funny because you can't really call it muscling because you're not.
Because I don't have the muscle to muscle it.
But for all intents and purposes, you're doing the same thing.
Exactly,
You're using whatever muscle you have to stop it. Yeah,
I was. It's so. Once I got past that, my game went from here to here really quickly for me. It hasn't really gone above there. That's sad.
Well, we haven't really been in jiu-jitsu in the last
sad.
years.
No.
This year doesn't count.
No, not
mulligan. We'll call them mulligans. Yeah.
So I get that when people are like, well, I don't have any muscle to use, because you'll roll with a smaller person. And it's like, you're still trying. You're still trying. Mm-hmm. We should ask the human simian how that worked out for him. Was that you using muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was me.
That was Austin.
Yeah.
He used to vibrate when he got in your guard. Weird.
We've established on the last show that he is, in fact, a very weak human being that was trying hard
I'm sorry,
to
I didn't
use
mean to do that to you. He's such a dick. That's not me.
You know what you started now.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
I am determined.
As you should be.
I am determined to be able to do 185 at least 5 times by the end of this month.
Yeah. He's in turn. That's an increase, man. He was at 155. So
right now I'm just kind of like stepping back. I did a plate 5 for 5. I did 145 5 for 5.
Okay.
Next time I go, I'm gonna try 155 5 for 5. We'll see how that goes. But I'm just
you're doing it once a week though, right? Not multiple times a week.
Right now I'm on twice a week.
It's too much.
Is it too much?
It is.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it after the show.
I don't want to be a 7-hour discussion.
I would love to make a clang and banging show, but Clip, he will leave.
I was going to say, this seat here will be empty.
I have said that I've got some friends who actually clang and bang. They run a CrossFit gym, and they host a podcast. And I was like,
dude, how do they do anything CrossFit?
We could do a little cross promotion here.
We could. I mean, we could. I have all the respect. I think it's ridiculous when you compare the two.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, jiu-jitsu, you could do CrossFit. Fuck off. They're totally different things. They make no sense, and your cardio is going to be different for either one.
They also enjoy bourbon and whiskey and all that stuff. So that's
see if I like these people.
We have some commonalities.
Yeah. It could be a fun show.
But CrossFit, like, it's not my thing.
Oh, I'm not a CrossFit fan, but I'm not a tennis fan either. So,
but I'm also not. I don't hate on it.
I don't hate on it. I don't care.
Who was it? Oh, because when Mel lived with us, she would watch those on TV. So I'd come home from work. And she's recovering, and she's watching the competitions. Wow, is that mind-numbingly boring. But super impressive for a short period of time. Like, how in the hell do you do any of that?
So I like highlights in a lot of things.
Yes.
Like, I will watch ping pong highlights. Like, if it's something cool, like, I hate baseball. But you show me a highlight thing for 5 minutes, I'm like,
oh, yeah, super entertaining.
Sweet. Yeah, exactly.
That's why Sports Center and all the sports things have been a thing, because you can be a passive observer and still get enjoyment out of it.
It's like the YouTube channel People Are Awesome. I dig that.
Oh,
like, you show me cool stuff, I'll watch it. I don't care what sport it is.
But, it doesn't matter.
But as far as being into, no, not it.
No, not it.
We got to get through this.
Do we?
We really do. All right, offensively, already rid of that. All right. Paul replies, if you don't have strength, either willingly or unwillingly, what would your jiu-jitsu look like? And he responds, floppy, flaccid bullshit. And that's what it is. So if you don't have enough technique to kind of make up for athleticism, you just, it'll look like floppy, flaccid bullshit. So that wouldn't win. What could you use? So, that's not going to work. So what could you use instead to win? Or the times that you accomplished good jujitsu without strength, how did you accomplish the desired task? So he says, generally, my timing was more accurate. Timing is only good if you have technique, right?
Yeah.
So that means that I had to have a technique, use it with the correct timing, and then I didn't need strength.
Yes.
So, hey, we're getting, we're learning stuff here, right? It was bingo. So if you want to practice getting better timing, what are some avenues for that? He goes, so Bill responds, I've been working on late stage escapes recently. It seems to keep the strength in check because I don't want to pre-tension my shoulder, for example. And about the only thing that gets me out is the right thing at the right time.
Okay.
Yep, I think that's actually a really good way to do that.
Fair enough.
His late stage escapes and avoiding strength are almost mutually exclusive, at least for how I define late stage about to be submitted. If you don't need strength for that, then your opponent's control must be insufficient. Let's take sweeps as an example. How can you practice improving your timing? There's a second element, but let's focus on timing first. Mm-hmm. He goes, all right, well, by definition, there is an escape of by definition, if there is an escape of any sort, then the opponent's control was insufficient. I'm beginning to second guess my thinking of the application of strength in late stage escapes, though. We are on the same page as far as late stage escapes, but I'm not allowing it to go completely to the event horizon. I'm allowing near full extension of the armbar, nearly fully secured rear naked choke, and under the chin triangles locked up with broken posture and the squeeze starting. Head and arm triangles, I've been waiting to feel their hips start to sag before I really begin my escape routes. Leading to those points, I do put small roadblocks in place that I'm trying to use. Leading up... boy.
Words.
You're trying to use to give me the window out. I got this. I'm such a good reader.
You were doing good.
As far...
My mic stand's jacked. I just want to let everybody know.
You should get a new one.
It just keeps doing this. It's fine.
You have to move your body.
I'll just talk down here. It's fine.
As far as sweeps, to better execute the timing, I feel like you'd have to focus on ensuring the off-balancing is being done as best you can with that, which in turn gives you a larger window for the timing aspect to be effective. I'm thinking off-balancing is bat, second element you're hitting... is the second element you're hitting towards, though? Some of the... It's typed on a phone. I don't know what to tell you. The second element. Yes, he corrects it.
There we go.
Got it. All right.
There we go.
All right, so Paul responds, when laying escape paths in advance, those shouldn't require much, if any, strength to set up since they are more about precise positioning, the roadblocks or anti-positioning, if you will, to utilize those paths. Strength is going to depend entirely on how well your opponent anticipated and compensated for your anti-positioning. If they overcome it with strength, structure, and break your anti-position, then it seems clear you're likely going to need to counter with strength. So, using less strength in that process, your anti-positioning has to be perfected. There's nothing so annoying as to grapple with someone with perfect anti-positioning. Note, not anti-jujitsu. Good call.
He covered it.
Yep.
Good job.
Because you were going to bring that up.
I was.
All right. It's a different thing. They know and anticipate everything, including how you might compensate with strength or speed for what they are doing. Nothing works the way you're used to. The more perfectly they anticipate, the more they can rely on sensitivity and timing to escape without effort. The level of strength required in an escape is relative to both positioning and timing of your anti-position setup. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. A lot of words.
A lot of words.
Timing. Positioning.
Yeah, so ultimately it comes down to if I know more of what you're trying to do and you're trying to set it up, then you're going to have to kind of like, you're getting there first and you're screwing up what I'm trying to do. So if I can kind of like really, let me equate it to, I'm getting mounted.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, I know I'm getting mounted. I got to get my elbows in position. They know I got to get my elbows in between their thighs.
So they're going to be doing what they can.
Exactly. So they're trying to make sure that your elbows aren't in play so they have, both arms and a neck to attack rather than only a neck. So now that's the fight. So now I'm like, all right, I got to use, strength, speed, athleticism to get my, then, now you're using all the attributes to get, they're trying to take that position away. You're trying to get that position in that moment of transition.
Yep.
So that's usually when I'm like, sometimes Like if your whole roll looks like that,
Yes.
you're doing it wrong. But if moments of your roll look like that, I think that's more than okay. It's like
especially at our level, like purple belt and below, for sure. I mean, maybe brown belt because you're preparing to be a black belt and probably preparing to be an instructor of some type, let's say, or already are an instructor like Chad is. I mean, I get maybe having less of those instances that you're using a little bit of speed and a little bit of your attributes, but like for me, blue belt, there's going to be those instances just because I want it to be competitive and fun, and if I'm just if I'm relying just on the technique I don't know yet, or I don't know well enough because I'm a blue belt, well, shit, I'm screwed. It's just every roll is going to go the same with anybody above me. Now, if I can tweak a little bit, I can make it more fun. I'm still losing.
No, there's matter of fact, I wanted to get a pro tip from Croyler on because I'm
oh, those are mythical creatures.
right.
Now. We don't get those.
I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, no.
So, but I would like to know. I always err to, hey, 20, 30, 40, 50%.
Yes.
Flow roll. Take it easy. Don't make everything a world competition. But I'm sure, go too far in that direction. So
yes,
some people don't have any stop. They can't do that. They take it to the other extreme.
Yes.
So I am definitely one, and I want Croyler's pro tip rebuttal.
How to be in the middle.
Yeah. So what's a good happy medium to what I'm doing compared to what full on competition. Everything is a world title.
Well, and that's the thing because you and I are pretty much the same interest level of jiu-jitsu. That's why we get along as well as we do. But like your style is much slower and easygoing, just like you said, flow rolly. Than mine. It's not as fun for me to do that. 2 reasons. One, I don't know enough to make a flow roll really effective for myself. Not so much for but not as much. I just don't. I don't have the wealth of knowledge. I have a lot, not enough. And number 2, I kind of like to get after it a little. Not as much as most people. But still, Kip's version of getting after
we're
it
on
is
a
quite
sliding
different.
scale, and I'm like at the 75-year-old level of how much I want to get after it, and you might be like at the 35-year-old level. Like I'm an adult, I'm not trying to win any fights, but hey, I still want to
make it
test
fun.
my shit.
I want to make it fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, like if you're just getting everything because I don't know the proper. Or have the timing of the proper technique to get out of it. Well, that kind of sucks for even you because it's like, well.
So, interesting thing. I forgot where I heard this from, and I regret it now. I should have wrote it down.
Jocko.
Get after it. So, they were saying, when I flow roll with so-and-so, I get my ass kicked. And I'm like, oh, I think if that's a true statement, then my idea of flow roll is wrong because I thought it was I let you do something, then you let me do something, and this idea is exactly what you were saying. Yeah. If we flow roll and I'm not using attribute strength and we're just rolling, like I get caught,
exactly.
The entire time.
There is no give and take because I have no give to do.
Right. So I can't. So we're flowing, and because I'm not using attributes and strength to stop you.
Exactly.
Like I just keep getting caught.
Yes.
And then I don't know offensively either. So as I'm trying to offense stuff, you always just kind of set up these things and I can't.
Your little roadblocks are complete stops for a person like that. You and I can do a flow roll now, but how long did it take for me to get out of any kind of mindset to be able to do that? Years?
Well, yeah.
Years. And also it was because my knowledge got up there. I'm like, oh wait, at least I know enough to do it from these positions. So that's the position I'm going to work from, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And Paul Elliott had a really good point when we were talking about flow rolls. He goes, you're a blue belt. You can't flow roll. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I wasn't offended, but I'm like, what do you mean?
You were offended.
I was so pissed.
Offended.
So I'm like, well, what do you mean? So he was explaining how long it takes to be able to flow roll because you have to have such a
huge wealth of knowledge. Oh yeah.
In order to make that fun at all,
Because I can't go from move to move to move. I just can't. I don't have that many. I mean, I have a lot of moves, but most of them, I have 2 or 3 from each position. Guess what? That wears out pretty quick in a flow roll when it's a give and take.
When we were doing that at Black Lion, in one of the warm up drills, where hey, we're gonna do one person, take them down, and then just work on a few different transitions, and the other
Yeah.
person like fight back, but you're letting them win.
Yes.
You're just giving very, very mild resistance. There's
Yes.
no competition. Your mindset is to let them win. And after a few rounds of that, people started going, I'm doing the same thing over. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Like
They're
I don't
even when you
know
let me
anything.
do something, I do
Yeah.
this.
And it's exasperated. Like, oh wow.
It makes you feel like shit for
Yeah.
a second.
So people feel better about themselves using all the strength and attributes because it
Yeah.
feels like a fight. They feel like they're
and it feels like
accomplishing
they're
something.
doing more
Yeah.
techniques when you're not.
When you're not.
You're not.
So when you're like, hey, only use technique, only use jujitsu because he's letting you do it. And then you're going,
I don't
I
have
don't
that
know
much.
any of this.
I don't know that much.
I've practiced so little.
Yeah.
You know, and they really thought that jujitsu was just like rolling around and like just doing this thing and fight. It's jujitsu. No. You're just fighting.
The techniques make
Yeah.
jujitsu, and if you don't know enough techniques, guess what? Your jujitsu is very
Yeah.
small.
So-
but it's fine to be that way. It's not a knock at all. It just
No.
it is what it is. It's a expansive, ever growing
Yeah.
art. Guess what? You're not going to catch up.
Right.
Curler still hasn't learned everything, and that dude bathes in this stuff.
He
Like
does.
literally, it's disgusting. That and sushi, and he's a happy son of a bitch.
I thought they were poke bowls.
Oh, he would eat everything.
They're so good.
Acai.
What's a hat?
What's that?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
All right. Moving. Okay, let's change the context a little bit. Since all that was about strength, timing, and escapes, holding off on your second statement of off-balancing for now. If you are on offense and doing wrestling or judo, isn't it true for a variety of takedowns that the better your timing, the less effort and strength it takes to execute technique? A perfectly timed foot sweep or ankle pick is so silly easy to execute that a weak old man with no strength can do it easily. Getting back to a variation of my original question, how can you practice improving timing and reducing strength effort in the context of a stand-up technique? Let's even say it's against a resisting opponent. So Bill says, sweeps and takedowns, you have to make their reactions more predictable. Could it be using a setup that has fewer reactionary options? Could be a familiar setup where you can better anticipate the likelihood of each route the opponent might take, or if they aren't paying attention, get them to repeat the same response to a certain action. So Paul replies, so either you force the issue or you wait for it to happen. In one, you use technique and or strength to set up your desired conditions. In the other, you look for opportunities. Either way, this only sets up the initial conditions for you what you want to work on. One is more deterministic, the other opportunistic. If we assume the initial conditions are correct, then how do we improve our timing? I like the sound of utilizing larger windows of time to work within. There's two ways to look at this. One is increasing the time of a single event. The other is increasing the number of events. If we spar with less skilled people, at least less skilled in defending the specific techniques, then we open up the window to building sensitivity for the precise moment that things are easiest and require the least amount of strength. When working on a cooperative partner, we can get a feel for the minimum input required to do that move. If drilling is limited to resistance instead of counter or anti-positioning, then a technique has relatively known amount of work and even speed that's required. Boy, there's a lot of words here.
That was a lot of words. Take his keyboard away. Take it away.
Can we say that in a more concise and precise way so that we can make a show out of it without
Well, I mean,
reading a
it was a
novel?
great time filler. It's really filled the time. Filled the time.
Point taken. Maybe I could read it better. Like,
You could always read it better. That's just a given.
his point is if you work on a willing opponent, you can see the minimum effort. Like,
Yes.
cool, okay.
Yeah,
So me and Austin are rolling like, hey, I want to work on this, like resist, but not too much, and we'll kind of amp it up. If I'm working on something on Austin and I don't tell him what it is, but he doesn't know enough to stop it, then I can see what the minimum level is that way. Yeah. So I like doing that. So then you can kind of work on, forcing issues and setting them up. So I can, like, if I want to work on my triangles with Austin, I'm going to use a little bit more force to get him in the position I want to try out this stuff. So rather than kind of being more flowy and going, oh, I'll just catch this or I'll just catch that, or, like you said, the opportunistic. So if you want to work on a specific technique, sometimes you can use a little bit of muscle to kind of like put the guy in the position, so that you can work on something. I like that idea.
I like that idea because I have to because
blue belt.
Because blue belt clearly issues.
Yeah. I still like the idea of trying to use as little muscle as possible.
Yeah, I have none, so it's easy.
Right,
but
even if you're weak,
I can still use muscle. I
Yeah.
try not to be winded. I equate that to being winded and being tired after the roll. Right now, I'm just out of shape because we go for 2 days and then we're off and all that.
Yeah.
But other than that, like we were just getting back into it and they shut us back down. I was actually doing my breath had come back. By the way, if you guys are off during this whole COVID and you want to go back and you're worried about being in shape, give yourself like 2 classes. Honestly, 2-3 classes, your wind's right back. Your body remembers it pretty quick.
Yeah,
and I've ate like crap, and I still was like, it was 3 classes, and I was like, oh man, we're good.
Yep.
Now we're shut down again. I was like, really?
Well, even so, I'd have a couple people over, and white belts, blue belts. Clearly, I would outclass them.
Yes,
but because I wasn't used to it, I'm like, wow, I'm winded just from like rolling around and exerting energy
at all.
But yeah, like to your point,
it literally comes back so quick,
it's a week,
dude.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yep.
So don't let that stop you from getting back, because I know it probably there's some people out there like, man, I'm just so out of shape, I can't go back. Yeah, you can, dude. It comes back so quick. If I can eat like I ate for the last 6 months and get right back into it, we're good. Okay,
Yep.
I promise you. I'm 42 and ate like crap.
Old man.
I know. So are you. You tied me. Didn't you?
No,
not yet. You got
January.
January.
Baby. Yeah. Only 41 right now.
Yeah.
I'm a young
son of a bitch.
Young man.
So
young and virile.
Oh, is son of a bitch a swear word?
Yes.
Damn. Is damn a swear word?
Damn. Oh, damn's fine.
How dare you? No.
Yes. You got to give me... Well, you don't have
PG,
to.
basically.
I do not want to.
So that's what we'll go. PG movie. No, because you can say shit in some PG movies.
PG-13.
Yeah. So PG. I can be PG. So damn.
And I think maybe ass, but not
But it can't
asshole.
be asshole.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go FCC. We'll go frickin' the radio.
Christ.
I can't do it. There you go. I can't say those. So I can
That's
say
fair.
damn, but I can't say... I can say pussycat, but I can't say the other. Yeah. That's what we're going with.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. It's fine. I'm just trying to lay it out. I'm going to lose. I mean, I have confidence in my loss.
He's going to drop an F-bomb at least once.
Oh, dude, it's going to happen. It's going to be ugly, but I have confidence that I'm going to try.
Hey, that's all we can ask.
I just hope the bet doesn't get too ridiculous.
Are we finished with the article? Of course not. It's like 7 more paragraphs, right?
Oh, dude. It's long. How much time do we have?
This is up to you guys. You're the people who sleep.
What time is it?
It's like 8 o'clock. We're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 8 o'clock.
All right. Going on.
Oh, man, we're going on.
Based on the amount of input, I have to add more work than necessary to a situation that doesn't involve counters and anti-positioning. Then I know my timing is likely off. Every time my timing is off, it invariably requires more strength or speed to compensate for a lack of timing. So if I keep the level of strength at a known constant, it can be implied that if I fail while my opponent fails to counter, then my timing must be off. That deals with single events. Positional sparring helps build multiple events. It also has the added benefit of providing an implicit time for partner feedback, since there's a reset to initial conditions regardless of success or failure of the technique. Again, each individual window can be expanded with less skilled opponents and narrowed with more skilled opponents. It's even perfectly okay to restrict the defensive actions, like when positional sparring and UPA, and saying they can do anything but lift their reversal side knee. Okay, so you can kind of tell.
It's a lot of info.
It really is.
It's a lot of
It's
info.
more than I anticipated.
You're getting into stuff. I'm glazing over. I'm not, I love Paul's info, but it's just like, it's a lot.
And we know about Kip's ADD.
It's bad.
Oh, yeah. You still don't have pills for that, do you? So you're going nuts over there. Yeah, I can see you going. You check your phone. You're on Facebook.
It's bad, dude. Like, I pick up my phone, and that's the funny thing. People will look at me. They're like, why are you on your phone? That's so rude. I'm like, do you realize I'm not even looking or reading it? I'm just moving things around. I'm just like, ooh, open this, close that.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
Adam goes, is that all 7 paragraphs?
Who said that?
Adam.
Hey, Adam.
It's all 7 paragraphs.
Who's on there that has a name? I want to say hi to them.
Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Yeah.
Paul Elliott.
Paulie.
Oh, hey, Paul.
I'm glazing over, sir. I'm sorry. I love you.
And Sam.
Sam.
To be-
He's is that the one from Britain? Nice.
Yes.
To be fair to Paul, this was not written for article form. It was written
No,
as
no.
a conversation for somebody that asked a question on Flick Chat.
And everyone in this room has had a conversation with Paul
Yeah.
directly, and
Yes.
they are, if nothing, complete.
No.
They
I-
are complete.
it's appreciated,
which is
by
awesome,
everybody,
though.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. We
Yeah.
still have people from our gym that talk about when he came to visit us, and we went to the
Yeah.
gym.
Well, it's fun. I can't wait till he
Dude,
comes
it's
back.
super
yeah.
fun. He said he's coming back in the spring. If it's not,
Yeah,
he's not
lockdown
coming
and
back in
shit.
the spring. He's not coming down.
Please.
It's just not
I
happening.
want to fight him. Well,
I don't want
not
to
fight. Let's not push it.
He will kill you. He will.
Yeah, why don't you just stick him on me again? That was great.
That was a great transition for us. I don't understand what the problem is.
I did sick Paul Elliott on Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, that was. I'm like, hey, can you do me a favor and roll with that guy over there? He's like, why? I'm like, well, I work with him and I think it'd be funny. Basically,
Yeah, and it was. It was great.
So he goes and he kind of destroys him a little bit. Then he very nicely says, hey, if you do it correctly, I will give you the tap.
Yes.
But if you screw up, it will go away.
Yeah.
So if it starts going away, then you'll know that you messed up. Reset to the position you just had.
Yep.
And try it again using the correct technique.
Yeah.
And I think that is a great way to learn.
That's a great way to learn.
That's a fantastic way to learn. Because, for instance, so if you're a white, blue, purple belt rolling with a black belt, and they don't want to give you anything, you won't get anything. Plain and simple.
Yes.
But
No,
if they're-
clearly.
But if they're telling you, hey, look, you know that if we just roll, you're going to be destroyed. But I'm going to roll in such a way that if you do it the right way, if you use proper technique, you will get the tap. And then when you're rolling and you feel something going away, you know immediately you screwed up.
Yeah.
And you can either stop and go, what am I doing wrong if you don't know? Or going, oh, I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing wrong.
I know what I missed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and just say, hey, let's get back to my side control. I'm going to try it
Yeah.
again and reset. And then if you make the same mistake over and over again, then you can go, all right, what is it? And then fix it. I think that is such a great way to learn how to do jiu-jitsu.
And good on him for being able to do that for people.
Oh, yeah.
He does it for everyone. He's all about making. He's a very similar crew. There's really no mystery when you meet those two why
They get
they're
along.
drawn to
Yeah.
each other, like talking and just commiserating about people like me.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they really, Paul Elliott and Corley Gracie both
Yes.
really, really are invested heavily into other people's success. So
extremely. That's
So-
where they both
yeah.
get the joy out of, for sure.
Yeah. So if you listen to 75% or more of our shows, it's Corley Gracie giving pro tips because he cares enough on how to
do that.
To do that.
Yeah.
He has his own podcast so that he can give you
Spread
more information.
knowledge.
Spread
Yeah.
knowledge, right? He teaches it and studies it so that he can make his students the absolute best that he can possibly make them. Paul Elliott's very, very similar, just with
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
20 years less experience.
But and they have two different approaches to an extent because Paul is very fundamental. And so is Corler, but Corler's fundamentals are more extending. Like he gets really in depth on certain positions. They spend months on one position.
Yeah.
Paul is all fundamental all day, and it's amazing because it blows your mind. It's stuff he shows you because he doesn't really do seminars. He does, but not really. He doesn't do them on a regular basis. Like Corler goes around tours, and Paul doesn't, but Paul's part of the Globetrotters and things like that, and he'll do coaching there. But we got one for free, which was awesome when he was here, and it was all basics. It was, and I still use the concepts he showed me, like that one time. It's so if you guys need to find people like that around you, there's a ton of them in the community. Just Paul and Curler are ours.
Yeah.
They're ours. We own them.
Yeah, so with both, so we talk about private lessons a lot. So
Yep.
the stuff I've learned out of my private lessons, I have used as part of my game ever since.
Oh, so
and
have
it's
I.
gotten better.
Yeah.
Same thing when Paul Elliott comes here.
I use it.
And we have these conversations and going
Yep.
back and forth. And having,
we completely beat him up for information. It's
oh
bad.
yeah,
When he's here, it's
yeah.
fun.
I have consistently used the information that we got from him.
Yep.
And it still works to this day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome. Well,
So-
of course it still works, but I still use it to this day.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Are you going to keep reading? I think we're good on that. Yeah. No?
We can stop if you want. if it's getting late.
Paul did comment and say, had he known it was going to be an article, he wouldn't have wrote such dense material.
It's fair.
And then someone suggested he should write a book.
You should. Write a book.
He has a book. If you go through simplebjj.com, there's a book worth of information, if not more, in there.
I'll read just a little bit more.
You do you,
Just
man.
a little bit more. All right.
Dude, how much can I stare at this boat while you're reading?
Because
that's pretty much all I've done is this model boat that I'm staring at.
Give me one more paragraph. I know I asked this in the context of sweeps or takedowns, but the answer basically covers all events in jiu-jitsu. To practice timing, have an established feel for what the technique should feel like when your partner allows you to set the timing, pace, and their defensive options. In single or multiple realistic events, attempt to recreate the level of effort that makes it feel like it was cooperative. That right there is when I know my timing is right. It feels like my opponent helped me. If they defend intelligently, then my timing is now based on when I switch to the next technique defined by their action. If they feel like they are helping me in the next technique, then my timing of when I switched was good. This is a very weird feeling for those of you reading that haven't experienced it. It feels like your opponent helped you, even though you're free sparring or competing. I've had it happen in all kinds of contexts, from sparring to competing with higher and lower skill opponents. The first reaction is usually feeling puzzled that the person let us wreck them. Then, when they tell you they couldn't do anything about it, and you know you didn't overuse strength based on prior cooperative experiences, then your conclusion has to be that your timing was perfect. We've actually talked about that before.
No, we have.
Yeah, the first time you can actually use
blows
stuff.
your freaking mind.
Yeah,
man.
you're like, why are you letting me win? You're like, I couldn't stop you.
I had that moment with him when you got something on me. I think it was a scissors sweep. First time he hit it, he literally stopped. Didn't roll up on top of me or anything. He just looked at me like, why'd you give that to me? I'm like, I didn't, you dick, but thanks.
It's a safe assumption usually.
You did it right, douche. Go.
Yeah. It works. Yeah,
it blows your mind. It's cool.
It's kind of like the
it
first time
doesn't stop either, because you'll start working
Yeah.
on a new move and you're like, or new technique. You're like, oh, working on. You're like, this is the most terrible technique ever.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. And all of a sudden you're like, hey, it worked. Oh,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So when you kind of bring it around the strength, when you first start learning jiu-jitsu and you have ego, competition mindset, fight or flight, and you're into it, you're getting your butt kicked by everybody. You're getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're fighting. You're not doing jiu-jitsu. You're just fighting. And then you're learning kind of how to fight and a little bit of technique. And even if it's all wrong, the act of fighting, you're going to get better at fighting because you're doing it, 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week, however much you go, right? So if you do that for 6 months or a year, well, you're better at fighting than people that aren't used to doing that 3 days a week for a year straight, coupled with a little bit of technique. But when you win, it's usually you know they didn't let you win because you had to fight for that.
Yes.
Like if I get a Kimura on Austin as a white belt, I fought for that Kimura. I put his arm down there. He knew I was going for it. He's trying to stop it. I just overpowered him, and I got that.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you'll catch something because your timing was better. You didn't use strength. And because you're not used to not having to use strength, you assume you let me get that.
Yeah.
Like, no. You just took it and I couldn't stop. I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah.
Or I did see it coming, but your position was so good. Your control was so good that I'm like, I hurt so bad because of your control. I couldn't wait till you finished me with the Kimura or whatever. And you're like, Dad, the first time you do something a little bit like that, it's a weird feeling.
It is.
And then you keep on. It's kind of like a renewed vigor. So that's usually when people go, oh, they make it past that blue belt.
God, there's so many that don't.
Well,
I saw a recent picture of our gym, and that was ugly. I was like, wow, there's so many people gone from when you and I were together. Oh.
So what you do up until blue belt and even into blue belt, you'll go, I can win, but you can fight, right?
Yep.
You have a few techniques you can use. You got a couple of go-tos. You're like, I can do that. But a lot of it is just, it's fighting.
And it's using strength.
And then that really beats up your body. It takes a lot of time. You're like, Jesus. It's not till after that level, at least for me, that I started catching people, and I'm using less strength, less attributes, less, everything, athletically. and it became fun again. It became, oh, if I can do this here, I bet I could do this here too. And then you're doing what Paul Elliott's talking about, like, hey, practice timing, practice that technique, and then kind of play with it a little bit and do cooperative stuff, use it on people that are a lower level than you. And then you'll have a few more techniques and a few more techniques. And pretty soon you're not using a whole lot of strength anywhere. So like you're talking about, I got to use it to make it a fun roll.
Yes. Well,
True.
I don't have to. For me, I do.
Right, yeah. But that's for everybody.
Yeah.
They have to use whatever attributes they have to make it a fun roll. And then the longer you're into it,
The less I have
the
to
more
do
of
that.
the stuff that Paul is talking about, you're using less and less. And pretty soon you're only sweating because it's hot in the gym.
You're wearing a gi.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And it's going, this is neat. And you're seeing how many different ways you can checkmate somebody. And then it just becomes a game. You're letting them do stuff on you just to see how many roadblocks you can set up. And, you have more and more ways out of situations. You can let them get deeper down into that rabbit hole, like when he caught you in that move.
Yeah.
Like he might have caught you 3 moves in out of 6, and you're like, I don't know how to get out of here. And then pretty soon it's 5 moves in, and pretty soon it's almost there. And you go, just kidding. You squeak out of it, and it's not a fight anymore.
Yeah.
It's literally it's in your head. It goes from a fight to a chess match. And that's when people get that renewed. Oh my God, it's not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So up until blue belt, almost purple belt, and maybe even sometimes past, depending on who you are and the school you go to. Yep. It's all physical until it becomes a little bit mental, and then it transitions into the mental game, and you're just working on taking these things away and working on this timing and using these roadblocks and these anti-positioning things, not anti-jiu-jitsu, to take everything away from them.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. You would hope that would keep more people going to get to that point, but it's a long road.
They don't get
to the road.
I didn't get to that point until really close to purple.
Purple, yeah.
So you can get there a lot earlier if you're smarter, if you do the right things. But I did so many wrong things.
You did a lot of wrong things.
But because it takes a long time to get there, typically, like you're saying, they quit. They're like, I can't do it. My body can't do this. My elbows always hurt. My knees always hurt. I don't feel like fighting every single day because they haven't made that mental switch.
Yeah.
And we've seen you fight.
Recently. That was well played. Wait for the breakdown of Paulie's fight.
We did a couple of
fight videos.
Fight breakdowns before the show.
And they'll get better.
And
we're going to keep practicing.
we seen a thing on Jiu-Jitsu Times. Well, I did. And it was the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, which we talked about a little bit earlier.
Wrestling with the black belt. I'm like, cool, we'll watch this and we'll do it. So we did a little video. It'll be up on YouTube. And then Austin goes, hey, we got time for one more. He goes, what do you have in mind? I'm like, I don't have any ideas. And Austin goes,
I got one.
I'm thinking, oh, this will be exciting. I can't wait to see it. And he hits play, and it's my stupid video.
I started clapping. It was great.
Of my cage fight back in 2007 or 8. I forget when it was.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I was in my 20s. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but no, it was embarrassing, and I hated it. So.
It was great, and you're
It'll
super
be on YouTube
pale.
now again.
Thanks, Austin.
But it's going to be on ours, so it's more accessible. Yeah.
It'll get like 20 views.
You're right.
Oh.
It's been up since.
Have you seen its improper roll? Hasn't made it to 4,000 yet, but that's still pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, people hate that.
They hate that video.
Well, they're looking for like some. Well, funny enough, if you make it all the way through, it has really good idea.
It does.
You just gotta
at
get
the
there.
very end.
People are like, I can't watch this anymore. It's clearly all a joke. Well, it's mostly a joke.
It was mostly.
Yeah, how to start a roll. Like, people want to go, what grips do I get? How do I sit in? Do I go for butterfly guard? Do I pull? How do I start? How do I start to win? To get on top, to get a better position? And so we made it a joke. And they were like, well,
all the ways you shouldn't start a roll.
Here's ways you can win, but it's a joke.
Yeah. We've got some angry people on there.
Oh yeah, they don't like it. They want to win. These people
It
want to
made
win.
it way better.
Yeah. So, I like starting a roll in a position. And if we don't start in a position, I have a game plan. And my game plan is predicated on how bad you want to win. So if you try to pull guard, okay, cool, I'll work on guard passing.
Yeah.
If you want to come on top, okay, I will accept whatever you want to do. So if you want bottom, I will take top. If you want top, I will take bottom. But I'm going to pull into half guard, butterfly guard,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
If I want top, I'm going to work on a knee cuts, pass. And
Yep.
if that doesn't work, then we're going to go into like
Bullfighter, whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But that's my plan. If
Yep.
you don't want to start from guard, mount, whatever. Like, hey, I'm working on getting on a mount.
Yep.
That's what we recommended. Like, just start from something that you want to get better at.
Go from there.
And go from there. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I got.
I have one more thing. Is that cool? Do you have
Do
anything?
it.
I've got stuff too, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, he's mad at someone. Hold on a second.
I'm at an entire.
Yeah, he's at an entire company.
I'm gonna bring it down.
First off, we have to say something. Congratulations to Jamal Hill
Hell
of
yeah.
Black Lion. He literally dominated Oven St. Preux on Saturday. It was amazing. I was on my couch jumping up and down as per usual. And he, from the starting bell, he looked good. In the second round, he looked downright dominant. Made a veteran look amateur.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I just seen the highlights because I was sleeping.
Yeah,
it looked good.
I went to text you because you're like, text me when it comes on. Maybe I'll cut over. I'm like, for one thing, you're going to be asleep.
Yeah.
And I go, Jen, look outside. So she looks outside. Their house is dark. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
It's like,
I appreciate you looking outside.
No
though.
problem.
Actually,
Yeah, had to make sure.
That does make me feel nice,
yep.
though. Tell
She's
your
like,
wife.
house
thank
is dark. We're good.
you. Yeah.
But yeah, super proud. Go ahead, Austin.
Well, before I even get to my little rant, Paul Elliott messaged the show and said, "Make sure Paul reads at least one more paragraph before ending the show."
Oh, son of a
Do you even know
bitch.
where you left off?
Jesus.
Getting back to the original question, every application of technique needs an immediate pass-fail evaluation on your overuse of strength. It's not so much how hard are you working overall, but based on how close it feels to the person helping you. If you execute the technique and it does not feel like cooperative but resisting training, then that's a fail. It's easy to refine. Did I read this?
No.
I can't remember.
It's easier to find when doing positional sparring, but when you are playing your A game, then you are pretty much by definition increasing the frequency of your analysis for the desired technique. A simple pass-fail immediate evaluation isn't such a bad way to keep yourself honest, and it can be applied reasonably objectively. Finally, this informs flow rolling, except both people are artificially opening up all the windows so that even timing becomes distorted along with strength. To a certain degree, you are artificially helping your partner in order to remove strength and precise timing from the equation. Everything scales, but you still need immediate pass-fail evaluation to make sure you're keeping honest. Flow rolling should feel effortless as well as nearly perfectly timed. I think this is why I typically get my ass royally kicked with the flow roll. This is where I read it. With more experienced people. When resisting at normal levels, I can disturb their timing and require effort enough to force them to go to backup plans more quickly, and also use that transition to further disrupt their goals. When flow rolling, their superior timing, sensitivity to my counters, and understanding of weight, balance, and transfer all become more apparent because they don't have to be as precise against me, even if I'm defending intelligently. Hey, that's where I heard it from, Kip. It was Paul. I just had to read one more paragraph.
What?
This is a Stephen King novel. What's going on? Oh my god!
All right.
I wonder who I heard it from.
I just had to. I would get there eventually. Hey, thanks, Paul.
Yeah, good job.
There you go.
Oh, wait. Okay, are we good now?
He says next time he will write it appropriately for podcast consumption.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. We just have to let him know. So
No,
time.
because he shoots down ideas and he's like, I'll write it when I have time. Or no, when he feels it. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
But I can't blame him on that. His stuff's usually really good.
Paul.
His stuff's
here's
usually really good.
here's the thing, Mr. Simple BJJ. You have an entire website dedicated to helping people,
Yes.
and we've read many of articles off it.
We have.
to helping the masses.
Yes.
Why don't you write more articles? Like, I appreciate the Flick Chat stuff, and I think this is wonderful, and it's
Oh, it
helping
is.
people,
It's
and people love you for that. I love you for that.
It's first-hand help.
But you have a website. Like, you can take this and compile it for your own website and for your own students, and I think that would be very helpful for the show. So,
Mainly. It'd be
so-
easier for us to find stuff.
thank you for your consideration.
He said, "Go to sleep, Paul."
Oh. It's good effort. You took your shot. I like it.
I did.
Took
I
your
shot my shot.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called nowadays? Is that what your kids are saying? Okay, go.
So, well, first things first, we got to get to this bet. So the bet in 2 weeks. December 20th, I believe, will be the show.
Yep.
14 days. The bet is Kip may or may not swear on the show. We're betting, Paul and I are betting that you will swear.
Yes.
And you're saying you can control
clearly
it.
I can control it.
You can control it. So Frank had a suggestion that if you lose this bet, you got to roll with Frank.
No. Hard pass.
But that's the bet. You're so confident that you won't swear.
Doesn't matter. I am not confident I'm not going to swear. I already said that clearly earlier.
There's a big downside to that.
Well, Frank really wants to roll with me for some odd reason.
Yeah, he brought it up a lot.
Yeah, he really did. It was creepy.
It was a
Does
little
Frank
concerning.
not know that he's broken?
Yeah, I'm broken as fuck.
I think he knows that, but Frank is confident that he won't hurt you.
I don't trust that.
I rolled with Frank. He controlled me pretty well. He's not like Paul Elliott or Croyler or Dr. Howe, but he's Frank.
Yeah, he's Frank. Exactly. You explained it at the end there. He's Frank.
Did he have a different suggestion for me? Or
I
just
have
for Kip?
well, for you, I mean, it's clearly you got to do no-gi. I
Like,
know.
Is that really what we're
Like
going
just
with?
rolling with you, Nogi, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah, we would have to,
God,
or we would have to wait till COVID was over for
yes,
8 months.
That's fair. God,
That's not going to happen.
the sucky part is I even have like the Nogi shorts.
I know. I
Top
can't
Mount.
wait to see you in Nogi.
That would be a video within itself. You're just
you
learning how to put this stuff on.
Like,
Oh God,
your braces.
you wouldn't
gonna...
take a picture of me, right?
Fuck
Yes,
yeah, we would.
we're
This
gonna
is
film
video.
It. We're gonna film it, bro.
Yeah.
You know how stupid I'm gonna look in
Good.
Nogi? Good.
I disagree.
I'll look better than you.
I don't know. I've seen
You'll
you.
still win the fight.
Yeah.
But I'll look like I know something.
That's actually true.
You'll do better.
Yeah, he
Like,
will
that
do
is
better than
Oh,
you.
good
guaranteed.
defense.
He does that a lot more than you do. I really like grips.
Yeah, I don't know where to put my hands. I'm like, just
What
trying to throw
else
it
could
like
we
a-
do besides Frank mulling me? And also, I guess I do see
The clanging and
Frank now.
banging shirt is still a thing.
Oh, I do like the clan.
See, I knew you liked that one.
and that's even available. Like we can just buy that.
I don't know. I might roll with Frank. I don't know. I really don't
I might
want to
just
wear
roll
that
with
shirt. That's a terrible idea.
We can ask the Flick Chat people.
You can.
We can put it out to the masses and see what kind of torturous things they want to come up with. But
Yeah,
I
do
think
that.
mine are pretty.
They're pretty good, though.
Okay, well, I'll make a thing of it.
Okay, we'll see.
All right, now can I rant?
Yes.
You can rant. Dude, you can
Rants.
rant.
So I love video games. I'm a big video gamer.
Yes.
I have UFC 4. I've played it on the Grappling Dad's Twitch a few times. Where's Jamal Hill?
Yeah, he's not on there.
They've got tons of unranked people, so I don't want to hear that excuse. They've got Brock Lesnar, who's not even a UFC fighter.
Yeah, he's
What?
terrible.
I know he
Yeah.
used to
serious?
fight. Yeah, he was a
Why
downloadable
would-
character.
Yeah.
He used to fight, and that was the
Well,
big
I
rumor.
get that, but
Brock Lesnar's coming back to UFC
He's
because
not.
he's in the video game.
He's
He's not
not.
an active fighter.
No.
Jamal's an active fighter. He's winning big time. He's probably going to be ranked soon. Put him in the freaking video game.
Oh,
how do you
man.
really feel?
I want to.
He's not wrong.
I want
though.
to play as Jamal.
That's the thing.
That would be
it's
fun.
I
mostly
really do.
for us.
How
I
cool
just want
is
to
that?
play as Jamal and be like, look, I know they did some screen things with him.
yeah, he
one
said
time.
they did.
Yeah.
So Jamal's actually a gamer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
oh
a-
yeah.
like
he's
a legit good
That's
legit
the other thing.
Good gamer.
He would play as himself in the game and talk shit, and it would be
Oh, it'd be
amazing for
amazing.
Twitch.
Oh, that's
Yes.
a good point. And so I don't play video games ever. I don't.
I do.
I never do. Never touch it. So what we could do is I could play as Jamal. Yeah. You see where I'm going with this?
That'd be the best thing ever.
That can be our Twitch stream. But Jamal needs to watch me play as him.
Oh, and just talk
On just
commentary.
Critique
Oh.
you miserably.
He would love that though.
That'd be a fun
Jamal would
Twitch.
like that. Jamal would tear you
That's the
up.
other thing. A lot of UFC fighters are gamers. He's
Yeah, they
one
are.
of them. And he's very prevalent. That's all he does.
Yeah.
He's training, and then he plays Call of Duty all
Yeah.
the time.
He's sick at Call of
Give
Duty.
him a character in UFC. He'd
Yeah.
play it all the time.
He would. And that dude,
Free promotion.
You
Yeah.
got a good point.
Jamal, dude.
Like, luckily, this show has tens of millions of downloads every week, and it will be taken care of post haste.
I mean, that might be a little
Thousands.
strong. Thousands.
I'm not,
We're in the thousands.
I'm not lying. I'm just improving the truth by many, many times.
We'll take thousands.
Yeah.
Even with COVID, we're still doing okay.
Our numbers for the last show actually went up.
Yeah.
I checked them before I came over.
Sweet.
I don't know why.
Well,
Because I got a mic now. Boom.
yeah, probably.
That's gotta be
Oh,
it.
yeah, it's totally a thing.
We need another camera. We need
Well,
like
I will
a-
say that
we need
our,
an
our
Austin
social
camera.
media is definitely growing.
Thanks to him.
Yeah, exactly.
even on
My
this
daughter
stream-
even said that. She's like, your social media is better. I'm like, it's because Austin does it. She goes, tell him he's doing a good job.
We appreciate Austin.
Which
like-
daughter?
What's that?
Which
Addie.
daughter? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that. was gonna say the other one, a little sarcastic.
No,
you never know.
she would have been
doesn't
complete
care.
shit. She would have been like, Austin's doing a great job. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, this show totally sucked before Austin came
It really
on.
did.
No, it didn't.
Really did.
I listened.
Oh crap.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
For
But-
this stream, though, we did have like between 8 and 11 the whole time.
Oh, nice.
Pretty good for us.
Hey, keeping people
After reading
honest.
that too?
Zero dropped frames. Doing great. What'd you
Nice.
say?
I said
Nothing-
after reading that.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost napped, but
I think it's got to be in like shorter paragraph. Like I need to read something and then we can talk about it. I can't
Yeah.
have this diatribe.
yeah, the
I get,
diatribes
I
are
get
what
lost.
get me. I started like looking at things.
Well, you're also reading off your phone, which we've said we can rectify.
Which is what you know what I did because I usually I copy and paste to
Yeah, so
something
we
I
can
can
move
read.
it around.
I,
Yeah.
I screenshot the entire conversation so it's even smaller. I was struggling.
Yeah, that was tough.
Obviously.
Don't do that again.
No, never again. Hashtag sorry.
You should not handle any technology.
No.
You're
You
not
just figured out you could share Wi-Fi passwords with me.
Yeah, that tripped him out. He was super excited though.
That was weird. Like you I don't even know what you
That
did.
was weird.
You're like, I can't get your wife. I'm like, I can't help you. I don't know it. I'm like, go talk to my wife. He's like, "Geez." So he goes over. He just hold your phone up. I'm like,
Share it with me, and you're like,
he's
what?
like, give me your phone. I'm like,
Just get close to me, Paul.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, just
I'm
get
like, what are you
close to
talking about?
Austin.
I was freaking out. I'm like, I don't want you on my phone. You know what I look at on there? Dude, let me
There's
clear
some
my
creepy shit
Let
on
me clear
this
my
thing.
search history first, and it just comes up. And he's like, share. I'm like, it just does it automatically. Like,
Yeah.
it comes,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
You should have said
Awesome.
like, open your bank account.
And you just
Yeah.
knew that. Like I would have never known that.
No, I did. It's great.
Of course you did.
Well, we all have iPhones, so we could share photos super quick too.
I had to get that AirDrop thing.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
basically what we
Same
did
idea.
but
I
with
didn't-
Wi-Fi.
it's the same idea.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, near field communication, sir. It's amazing. Anything else from the peanut gallery over there?
Roy said Jamal might be a downloadable content at some point. That's true.
Yep.
Are the live streams usually Sundays? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Awesome. Keep coming. More people. Come
Yeah.
watch us. It's fun.
Keep coming.
Do that.
More-
Keep coming, everyone. Get it? Get it? No?
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thank you
no.
for our patrons. We appreciate you. Thank you to the sponsors.
Our
Go-
sponsors are
Go
great.
buy
We
stuff.
appreciate you.
Go buy them some shirts.
Who was it last night who said they didn't know where
Mike.
Mike, yeah. Hey, that's a shirt. Buy it.
Yeah, he's like,
Idiots.
oh, I never read that shirt. That's a great shirt. And I go fucking
Yeah,
buy
go
it.
buy it. It'll help the show.
Well, the only problem I'm having, have you guys had this yet, where they're like, can you give me one of those shirts?
I
No.
can't get you anything.
Go order
I
it.
don't make them.
Al hooked us up
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's our sponsor.
Yeah.
And by us,
Yeah.
I mean you two.
Yeah.
He just felt bad for me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
but he hooked you up.
Oh my God.
Work really hard for these.
Hey, he's already said we're one of his best sponsored athletes.
Wow. We're athletes.
We're athletes.
Yeah, that's what he always called us,
Banging
doesn't
and
he?
banging athletes.
He calls us that. He's like, yeah, you guys a sponsored athlete. I'm like, no, we're not.
And I wore the Nogi stuff to Nogi.
Yeah,
And everyone's
you
like,
did.
where the fuck did you get that? I'm like,
Dude,
TopMountainApparel.com, bro.
I love those. The samurai
legit.
ones. Oh, they're sick. I like 'em.
Robert. Normal size Robert.
Yeah.
That just made it sound
Which
so much
Robert's?
worse.
Which Robert's that?
Little Robert.
Oh, it's little Robert. Oh, sorry. I mean Robert.
You can't call him.
Well,
Little
he's been a
Robert, so-
listener of this show for a freaking long time. Did you see he rated us in his top 5 for his own podcast?
Wow.
I did
That
see
he
that. It
likes.
was very nice.
Very
yeah.
cool.
Dang.
So
We should
and-
have
and
little
he
Robert
knows
over.
us and still enjoys it. Yeah, he's cool as shit.
I want
dude.
to fight him too. It's been a long
Oh,
time.
he's so much fun. He's so slick. It's fun.
He's fun to roll with.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's one of.
Someone you should have like just on the show. His whole family's into like.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. His whole family's martial
He
arts.
does
He's been
kung
in martial arts.
fu, something like that, doesn't he?
Karate.
I think he-
no,
well, I think he does
No,
a
no,
lot.
no, no, no. He
Yeah.
does multiple. He has
Does he really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
He's
he does
got
a
like
lot
his.
of it.
Yeah, I think he was doing his red sash test that was online once. Yeah, he's legit in like 90 things. So if you keep calling him Little Robert, he will tear you apart.
He likes me. It's fine.
Yeah, that's true. He's a good guy.
Today.
He's super
No,
awesome.
I mean, he always is like, you come here because he knows I'm not going to hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I like rolling with people that I know aren't going to hurt me. Those are
And
my
that
favorite.
know what
roles.
they're doing because he does.
Yep.
Oh, he's fun.
Yep.
But anyways, that's all we got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, real helpful.
Cheers.
Cheers. Go get a mug.